The luxury car brand Porsche has accused the Northern Territory government of running a nanny state over its plan to remove unrestricted speed limit zones. International car brands have taken advantage of these speed limit free zones to test their cars and make advertisements.
But the NT government says the move is about saving lives. Well, for more on this, we're joined now by road safety expert Ian Luff. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I'm actually quite surprised that we do actually have unrestricted speed zones in place, even in an area like the Northern Territory, which one imagines has wide open spaces. But do you perceive that this change in bringing the NT into line with the rest of the country, is that going to save lives, or is there a place for unrestricted zones like that?
Look, I believe in the Northern Territory, the biggest problem we have is driver fatigue. Travelling long distance over a long time, people become bored. So what we find is that people lose focus, lose concentration. That's the biggest problem. If people are travelling a little bit faster, they're more focused on the job and they don't fall asleep behind the wheel.
But these roads, they're not like autobahns in Germany. I mean, do we want people driving at 180, 200 k's an hour on an open road like this when these roads are not the same as those roads in Europe that people make the comparison with?
I think it really comes back to driver competency and the condition of the vehicle, because let's face it, if a vehicle's unsafe, at any speed it's unsafe. And then you look at driver competency, which opens up a can of worms. Look, the highway that runs north and south through Australia and the Northern Territory is a very good road. Yes, I've travelled on the autobahns. One could argue about the condition of the roads, but they're very good condition for the Territory, and people have proven they've travelled at very high speeds. A lot of international car makers use it for filming and testing, and it actually brings a lot of people to the Territory because it's a factor of life. They can actually travel quicker through that part of the world to get to the centre of Australia, and it makes sense. European people just can't get their head around the fact of why they want to become like a nanny state.
Well, it does beg the question why you need to film a car travelling at 180 k's an hour if you basically can't drive the car that speed anywhere in this country, or probably most other countries as well.
Look, I think it comes back to marketing, excitement, all those kind of things. I mean, a car travelling at 180, 200 k's being filmed, it's very difficult to tell it. In motorsport, people can't really see the speed unless you're there in person. So look, that's a matter for the manufacturers to decide on. But look, car manufacturers now, like Porsche, Audi, all of the premium brands, they're building absolutely amazing technologies into motor vehicles. What we've got to do, though, is get the driver up to speed with those technologies. It comes back to better education, better driver development, and also in this country, a better driving culture. We're not like Europe. We have real problems on our roads.
So when you're talking about driving culture, what do you mean there?
Good example, you mentioned the autobahns. Travelling over there, people know which lane to sit in. In our country here, it doesn't matter what state or territory you're in, people have a real problem of keeping in the left. Over there, if someone flashes the headlights where a faster vehicle is approaching, there's a friendly little wave, they move out of the way. Here, we get hand gestures, flashing of lights, brake testing. We really have a massive problems with drivers, and it really comes back to the way we get our licence. Let's be honest, doing a reverse park and a three-point turn will not save drivers' lives.
Well, the way we get licences has changed quite dramatically, I think, since my day. Take us through how people do get a licence these days. Look,
it varies from state to state, but say in New South Wales, and to the credit of New South Wales, they've developed what's called the Safer Drivers course for learner drivers, and that not only reduces the hours, but it makes them a lot more competent and a lot more aware of what risks are in operating a vehicle. Young people, as we know, are overrepresented in motor vehicle crashes. That 17 to 25, what are called novice drivers, don't have the experience, and it really comes back to better education. Some of the other states are falling behind, but the test that we go for is nowhere near enough compared to, say, what you have to do for a motorcycle. So we really have got to have a more competency-based test, because you have to be competent to operate a motor vehicle safely.
What do you make of issues around mobile phone use in cars? Because we have a message out there,
yes,
but it appears on anecdotal evidence that that isn't necessarily being paid attention to.
People just don't get it. Monash University did a test with usage of mobile phones, and they found that using a mobile phone, texting in particular, where the eyes are dropping down to the screen, is equal to a blood alcohol content of 0.05. And we know that increases a driver's reaction by double. So if you're travelling, sort of 20 metres a second, you multiply that by 2, you've travelled 40 metres down the road before you've even looked up. So we know that the crash rate has increased, particularly in New South Wales. The road toll at the moment is horrific, and we're being told to slow down. Well, the situation is it's inappropriate speed for the conditions, and it's inappropriate speed for the ability or competency of the driver.
Well, what do you make of the policing of speed limits and other rules on our roads? Lots of people who don't like the approach just say it's revenue raising, but governments around the country point to generally lower road tolls over time trending downwards.
Well, it's counterproductive in New South Wales. As I said, we've got 36 people fatalities, more so than last year. Speed alone is not the problem. Every day people are driving, they're speeding. It's just a matter of, is it legal or illegal? It's foolish to believe that you can't die at the legal speed limit. Anyone can pass away in a bathtub. So the depth of water is not the problem. You've got to make people water-wise. And tragically, motor vehicles now are so easy to drive. People put the car in D for dream in the automatic, head down the road and have a memory lapse and say, how did I get here? So people are not focused. The mobile phone is a greater distraction, which is increasing that risk factor way over the odds.
Ian Luff, great to talk to you on Weekend Breakfast this morning. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you.